If you're familiar with Dave Ramsey and what he preaches, then you're going to find this video extremely interesting. Before we start, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe because we're going to be talking so much more about Dave Ramsey as well as Warren Buffett and so much more investment content for you. So co-host on the Dave Ramsey Show is George Kamel, and he was caught preaching the 4% rule. Let's take a listen.
Is that they say you can withdraw 4% of your nest egg, but you'll really need to withdraw closer to 3% if you retire that early. So look at this. If you've saved $1.5 million by your 30s, that amounts to living off $45,000 a year. We're talking about living for 55 years off one account and not depleting it. And if you withdraw 4%, there's a higher chance that money's gonna run out well before that time is up. Literally, there's a site called honestmath.com, and they ran 10,000 different financial simulations to get this chart and show you these numbers. All right, so let's look at this chart. On the left side, we see years in retirement. On the top, we see the withdrawal rate. And as you can see, if you have a 30-year retirement with a 4% withdrawal rate, you're gonna have 3% of that account balance remaining 30 years later. That's kind of scary considering you're gonna retire at 30. And so a 30-year retirement means at 60, you're flat broke, and you still might live another 35 or 40 years.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
But when we move on to the 3% withdrawal rate, you will see that even 35 years into retirement, if you withdraw 3% a year, you'll still be left with 90% of the account balance. That's pretty impressive. And you can even see if you go down 45 years, you still have 37% of that account balance remaining 45 years in.
So now what's very interesting is that Dave Ramsey actually had a call into his show, and this is what he had to say about George Kamel actually preaching the 4% rule.
My question today is I'm baby step 4, 5, and 6. I have about $120,000 saved for retirement. That's across my IRA, my Roth IRA, my wife's Roth IRA, and the 401k.
How old are you?
And I'm 30 years old.
Good for you. Well done.
Thank you. I feel, from what I've been running the numbers with, that I'm on the teetering edge of coasting financial independence, and I'm trying to best understand my plan with the end in mind, so how I'm going to turn that nest egg when I retire into income. I found on your website a little article that talks about 4 to 5% withdrawal rate, and I was trying to run the numbers around that, and I thought I was close, and then about a month ago, George Kamel released a video that said that the withdrawal rate for a 30-year time horizon should be closer to 3%. So if I can establish financial independence comfortably, then I was wondering if I could ease up on baby step 4 to pay off the house faster.
Okay, I'm a little confused because I don't know what the hell George is doing a 3% withdrawal rate, because that's absolutely wrong. I'm going to have to find out where that video is and get it taken down, because that's just wrong. You don't need to have a 3% withdrawal rate. That's ridiculous. Or I hope you misunderstood. I hope we didn't put out trash like that.
Was it 4 to 5%?
No, it shouldn't be 4 to 5%. It ought to be more than that. I mean, if you're making 12 in good mutual funds and the S&P has averaged 11.8, and if inflation for the last 80 years has averaged 4%, if you make 12 and you need to leave 4% in there for inflation raises, that leaves you 8. So I'm perfectly comfortable drawing 8. But if you want to be a little bit conservative, 7, but sure not 5 or 3.
Well, I was trying to back check it because, 3 to 5, I thought that was a big range. And a lot of the studies I found showed...
Well, there's a lot of studies that are stupid in this space. So it's just wrong. Listen, man, the math I just gave you is the math. If you're making 12% and inflation is 4, and you leave 4 in there, so your nest egg grows by 4, it's simple. 8 is what's left over. So if you got $1 million and you leave 4% in there, that's $40,000. Okay, so you now have $1,040,000. So the next year you get a rate of return of 12%, 11.5% on the $1,040,000, and the next year it'll be $1,090,000. 1.1, right? Because your nest egg is growing by the rate of inflation, giving you a cost of living raise every year. So as long as you're doing that, you're fine. And so if you want to be a little bit conservative, maybe 5%. But there's all these goobers out there who have always put this 4% crap in the market, and I'm just irate right now that we have joined the stupidity.
Why is it that stupid, though?
It's too low. It's too low because it's not realistic. You do not need to live on 4% of your money for your nest egg to survive.
Yeah, even if you did a rate of return of 10% or something.
Yeah, and what it sets up is this guy now, he doesn't think he's got enough money. And he's already got $120,000 and he's 30 years old and he's on a plan. He's on a plan to be very wealthy and he's worried he's going to have enough money or not.
Yeah.
You know, because stupid people put out low withdrawal rates. Like you,
but
listen, if you think you can only pull off 4% off of investments making 12, where the flip is the other 8% going? Well, 4% of it went to inflation. That's where it went. The other 4% is just sitting there. So you are growing your investments instead of living off of them. I'm not destroying the nest egg. I'm not even touching the nest egg. I'm growing the nest egg by leaving 4% in there.
Yeah.
Taking 8 off of a 12 growth rate.
So go a 10% rate of return. Go a little bit more conservative with your rate of return. Go 10%. What would you do with 10%?
Well, then 4 off of that, so 6.
6, yeah.
But why are you going to underinvest?
Yeah.
I mean, this year the S&P to date
was 10%.
Is 10%, and we're not even at the end of the year yet.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's talking about how bad the economy is. So, you know, most years mine have done much better than 12. And so But
if you can do your standard of living though lower than what you need, like if you don't need it, that's fine.
Yeah. Like I'm 62, or 63, I'm pulling nothing off of mine.
Right.
Because I don't need it. I still work. I still have an income.
Right.
I don't need any of it. So it's all just sitting there growing.
But you could do 4%.
The problem is when you go down these stupid nerd rabbit holes in these Reddit threads with these morons who live in their mother's basement with a calculator, and then you put that out into the dadgum community, and then people go, I don't have enough money. It's hopeless. I'll never be able to save enough to retire.
So this video was not meant to be negative toward Dave Ramsey or his show or George Kamel as well. Look, I feel that everybody has a certain method and a certain way of doing things in terms of investing or preparing for your future, as well as retirement itself. I'm not going to knock Dave Ramsey. I'm not going to knock George Kamel. I'm not going to do that in this video. I just find it extremely interesting that there was a bit of a conflicting view there with George Kamel as well as Dave Ramsey, and I just wanted to highlight that in this video. And I also wanted to ask what you guys think, and I want to see what your thoughts are, and you can definitely leave them in the comments. If you like this video, remember to leave a like, remember to subscribe, and thank you so much everybody for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate the support thus far. You know, we've gotten a lot of great feedback in the past couple videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.